If you look at how Reagan waged the Cold War.
I love when Tucker has his mouth open. He's trying to wade through the sea of stupidity.
And Reagan is very much my model for how to... I actually think how Reagan took on the Soviet Union is exactly how we should take on China. Now, starting from the point...
Really? So we should... you sound like an interventionist. You say that you're non-interventionist. How did we take on the Soviet Union? We intervened. It's called the Truman Doctrine. It's called the Marshall Plan. It's called the NSC 68 document written by Paul Neitz. These are all massive interventionists, and that's exactly what the Cold War was. It was just one intervention after another to control third world markets. And you're saying we should handle China the same way we handled the Soviet Union, which is meaning we need to ratchet up and institute a rollback policy, which is to say we should sabotage, coup, invade the Chinese government. These are all the things that we did to the Soviet Union. We invaded the Soviet Union. We've bombed the Soviet Union. We couped the Soviet Union. We did everything that we could possibly do to destroy the Bolsheviks. So he's saying, yeah, more of that, please. That was awesome. Let's do that to China now. Really?
Look, Reagan was not an interventionist. In 8 years, the biggest country Reagan...
Did this motherfucker really say Reagan was not an interventionist? Reagan is the only president still to this day to be indicted and charged with a crime against humanity by the international courts for his illegal and unlawful invasion of Nicaragua.
Reagan ever invaded was Grenada.
He's saying this is a demonstrable lie. Oh my God, Ted. Did he just say in his 8 years, Reagan only invaded Grenada? That's not... What?
Very reluctant to use U.S. military force.
He didn't respond after the 83 barracks bombings.
You're right.
Wait, I gotta hear that
Very
again.
reluctant. Look, Reagan was not an interventionist. In 8 years, the biggest country Reagan ever invaded was Grenada.
What does he mean the biggest country that Reagan invaded was Grenada? This is truly remarkable. You can't even find Grenada on this map. I know, we're only 15 minutes in the interview. It's ridiculous. Wait, where the fuck is Grenada? I know, this is awful. I can't even find Grenada on the map because it's so small. It's island. It's an island in the Caribbean. What the fuck is Ted Cruz talking about? I really need to know. There's Grenada. He just said that Ronald Reagan in his 8 years, the biggest country that he invaded was Grenada. Ronald Reagan invades Nicaragua in 1985, and he is condemned by the international courts for that invasion. I wonder if we could find the ICC document, or maybe it's the IC... No, I think it was the ICJ. Look at this, International Court of Justice. The military and paramilitary activities in and against Nicaragua. Nicaragua versus the United States of America. On April 9th, 1984, Nicaragua filed an application instituting proceedings against the USA, together with a request for the indication of provisional measures concerning a dispute relating to responsibility for military and paramilitary activities in and against Nicaragua. On the 10th of May, 1984, remember, Reagan assumed office in 1980. On the 10th of May, 1984, the court made an order indicating provisional measures. One of these measures required the United States immediately to cease and refrain from any action restricting access to Nicaraguan ports. Everybody's with me on this? Does everybody understand how, in fact, Ted Cruz is lying when he says that Ronald Reagan's greatest invasion was the invasion of Grenada?